Underneath a dead man's bed sat a black briefcase. Inside was a hidden treasure trove of secrets that would solve a cold-blooded murder over 700 miles away. In the year 2000, Jerry Cassidy took his own life in a quiet Missouri basement. He left 3 letters taped to that exact briefcase, along with a chilling instruction written in bold, thick letters: "Do not open alone." When Jerry's brother carefully opened it, he didn't just find a standard suicide note. He found a massive, undeniable digital trail of breadcrumbs, hundreds of printed AOL emails, instant messenger chat logs, fake sonograms, photos of a fabricated pregnancy, and, most importantly, a full, detailed written murder confession. This briefcase proved that Jerry, a highly trained, former homicide detective, had fallen into a dark, inescapable digital trap. To understand how an experienced homicide detective became a killer, we have to trace his steps. In 1998, Jerry noticed undeniable corruption in his department. He did the right thing and exposed high-ranking officers. But doing the right thing cost him absolutely everything. He was ostracized, written up for petty offenses, and eventually fired. He moved his family to Reno to work as a casino security guard, but he was drowning his sorrows. By 1999, his wife took the kids and left him. Jerry was completely isolated, severely depressed, and incredibly vulnerable. And in that extreme vulnerability, he logged on to the newly invented internet and met Cherie. Cherie was a young married woman living in Michigan, but to her, the early days of America Online weren't just a place to check the weather. She treated it as an addicting, erotic free-for-all. She would spend her days jumping from chat room to chat room, thrilled by the attention, pretending to be anyone she wanted to be. To Jerry, Cherie's online persona was a wildly successful, wealthy nursing home tycoon, expecting a massive lawsuit payout that would financially rescue him. But Cherie's reality? She was a junkyard bookkeeper with 3 kids, multiple marriages behind her, typing her fantasies on a computer that her brand new husband had bought her to help sell Mary Kay cosmetics. Jerry had no idea. He felt deeply and desperately in love, and Cherie escalated her lies at a terrifying pace. Month 1, seduction and promises of endless wealth. Month 2, she fakes being pregnant with Jerry's child. Month 3, she sends a frantic message claiming she suffered a miscarriage because her husband violently beat her. By month 4, she claims she is miraculously pregnant again, this time with twins. She even sent photographic proof of the violent abuse to keep Jerry hooked, images of dark, terrifying bruises covering her stomach. But the shocking truth? Those bruises were entirely manufactured. They were just Mary Kay makeup. It was a complete, deliberate, and theatrical fabrication. Cherie painted her real-life husband, Bruce Miller, as a terrifying monster. She claimed the fake Bruce was a violent, high-ranking mafia boss running money laundering operations out of a salvage yard. She told Jerry she was a literal hostage. But the real Bruce, he was a completely harmless, 47-year-old man who just loved fixing cars, tinkering with machinery, and bringing home pizza for his family. He didn't even know how the internet worked, let alone that his life was now in grave danger. Then, Cherie delivered the final psychological blow. She sent a fabricated email to Jerry, pretending to be the mafia husband Bruce. It read, "Cherie is growing fat with 2 bastards in her. She decided she doesn't like the excess weight and is going to get an abortion." She was mentally pushing Jerry straight to the breaking point. And it worked. Jerry's hero complex was entirely weaponized. He read a follow-up email where Cherie claimed she was gang assaulted by the mafia. He snapped. He immediately demanded directions to the salvage yard. He packed a 20-gauge shotgun, and he relentlessly drove 700 miles from Missouri to Michigan to save the woman he loved. Jerry snuck into the dark salvage yard offices. Bruce was just wrapping up his day. He had literally just gotten off the phone with Cherie, telling her he was picking up a pizza on his way home. And then, it happened. Bruce Miller was executed in his own salvage yard, murdered in cold blood, without leaving a single trace of physical evidence behind. Jerry pulled the trigger, genuinely believing he was a hero, protecting an abused victim from a monster. Right after the murder, Jerry picked up Bruce's own cell phone. He dialed Cherie's house and let the phone ring exactly 1 time. That was their prearranged signal. The hit was complete. Jerry drove back to Missouri, expecting to finally start his brand new life with the woman he had just killed for. But then, she ghosted her hitman. Cherie immediately cut all contact with Jerry. Total, bewildering silence. Just 2 days after her innocent husband was murdered, locals spotted Cherie at a bar, dancing and having the time of her life. A few months later, she moved a completely new man into Bruce's house. Sitting alone in the crushing silence of his basement, Jerry finally put the pieces together. He realized there was no mafia. There were no twins. The abuse was makeup. He was nothing but a human weapon in her twisted game. The humiliation and the overwhelming guilt of killing an innocent man were too much. Jerry made a final, written vow in his letters. She will get what's coming. He intentionally sealed the trap for Cherie, and then he took his own life. The most crucial takeaway from this explainer, and what makes this case so groundbreaking, is the digital footprint. In 1999, Cherie didn't even realize that AOL chats could be saved, let alone printed out on paper. The police didn't have a single shred of physical evidence linking her to the murder scene, but they didn't need one. Jerry provided the first ever physical hard drive of online guilt right inside that black briefcase. Armed with Jerry's meticulous printouts, police arrested Cherie. She was convicted and handed a life sentence. Years later, sitting in prison, she finally confessed in a letter to the judge. Her reasoning for destroying these lives? Absolute psychopathy. She wrote, "It was like a video game, and each man was another level to me." It is a profoundly horrifying reality. 2 men died, one murdered in cold blood while ordering pizza for his family, the other driven by guilt to take his own life. And it all started because of a simple internet connection and a completely fabricated persona in an AOL chat room. This moment didn't just change the past. It shaped the future of how digital crimes are prosecuted in the modern era. It leaves us with a chilling question. If a trained homicide detective couldn't spot the monster behind the screen, how can anyone be sure who they are really talking to? Follow for more explainer deep dives. What hidden true crime story should I tell next?